person Ajay Alok from the Congress. We have Anuma Acharya. Rahul Verma joins us from the Center of Policy Research, and Rashid Kidwai, author, political analyst, is with us as well. I want to start by taking question number one. What is the voters' perception about the performance of the Madhya Pradesh government? So how many voters are fully satisfied? How many are unsatisfied with the performance of the government? So let's have that up on our screen first up. 40% of the respondents in the C-Voter poll said they were fully satisfied with the performance of the government. 28% said they were somewhat satisfied with the performance of the Shivaraj government. 31% said they were fully dissatisfied. Let's come to question number two. The performance of Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan himself. How do voters perceive his performance? So 40% of the respondents say they were fully satisfied. 25% say they were somewhat satisfied. 34% say they were fully dissatisfied. So it's roughly in line with the performance of his government. So the Chief Minister's performance and popularity broadly in line with that of his government, though the number of people who say they're dissatisfied is slightly higher. Who would be the preferred choice to be the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh? Now, this is interesting because so far in all the polls that we've seen, Kamal Nath has been around half of Shivraj Singh Chauhan's popularity. This is the first time that C-Voter is picking up that Kamal Nath and Shivraj Singh Chauhan are neck and neck. Shivraj Singh Chauhan has the slenderest of leads, 37% versus 36% for Kamal Nath. That suggests, also because there is no second leader in the Congress who's being projected as Chief Minister. And even though Kamal Nath hasn't officially been projected as Chief Minister, it's quite clear if the Congress wins, he would be Chief Minister. And therefore, 36% of the respondents in the C-Voter poll are backing him. Let me get initial reactions, and I'll start with Yashwant Deshmukh. Yashwant, Kamal Nath coming up to 36% versus 37% of Shivraj Singh Chauhan. That seems to be a change from the last set of data that you picked up from Madhya Pradesh, where there's a big gap. And secondly, how does the popularity of the state government of Madhya Pradesh compare with the other states which are election bound where you're doing your tracker?
Rahul, a few things which I could notice from the data. Number one, I feel it is going to be Kamal Nath, the individual, versus the BJP, the machinery. This is how it's playing out to be, because the other nearest possible, the Congress person on the popularity rating, was Digvijay Singh with just 1% on that number. So they're just like Karnataka, where the gap between Siddaramaiah and DK Shivkumar was very, very wide and very evident. This is the same thing here. So it's a good news for the Congress. Not that good in terms of the BJP, because I think they have got problem of the plenty in that way, that their organization is very, very smart, very strong. And their minimum threshold of vote share seems to be 40% plus now in Madhya Pradesh, and that is courtesy their strength of the organization. But the confusion in their rank and file post merger of Scindia faction within the party, that is creating a lot of trouble for the BJP. This is not just from the quantitative input, but also from the news reports that they both go hand in hand. They gel it so well that there is a substantial there are substantial issues and problems as far as integration of the imports are concerned within the BJP rank and file.
Okay, how does the popularity of the Madhya Pradesh government and that of the Chief Minister compare with other election-bound states, Yashwant?
Rahul, I think it is not that bad as people might have presumed to be. When I look into the data of Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Telangana, it seems that Rajasthan is having a much bigger anti-incumbency sentiment when compared to Madhya Pradesh. Same is the case with Telangana. I guess that even after 20 years of being in power, with barring 1.5 years of Mr. Kamal Nath being in the Chief Minister's chair, this actually seems remarkable in terms of still managing to get that kind of rating. But how much of that would eventually turn, convert into vote and seat, that remains to be seen.
Okay, so you're saying it's Kamal Nath leading the Congress largely as a solo effort versus the organizational machine of the Bharatiya Janata Party with a starting vote share of 40%. While Rahul Verma, Kamal Nath has worked on improving the organizational structure of the Congress in the heartland from the last election in 2018 to now. If that's the starting point of this election, it would suggest that despite the anti-incumbency, the BJP starts from a very strong position. That may not determine the end outcome, but the BJP starts strong in the heartland.
That's true, Rahul. In Madhya Pradesh seems to be one of those states where BJP has been in power for a very, very long time. And their sort of strength does not just come from being in power. If you travel across Madhya Pradesh, you will find that BJP as an organization is present. And even affiliated organizations with BJP, such as RSS, has a strong presence in Madhya Pradesh. So in that sense, they are very, very strong organizationally. Two, if you remember the last election, 2018, where it seemed that BJP is going to be facing a very, very challenging election, they somehow managed to score, like, of course, they scored 5 seats lesser than the Congress, but their vote share was still higher than the Congress. So even in 2023, I presume the elections are going to be very, very close. It would not be a cakewalk for Congress in Madhya Pradesh. And three, as Yashwant rightly pointed out, if you just compare Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh sort of like satisfaction data with CM and as well as with the government performance, it seems that the Madhya Pradesh government has slightly better rating compared to Rajasthan government, and Shivaraj has a better rating than Gehlot in Rajasthan.
Ajay, Alok, especially in the Gwalior-Chambal belt, the integration of the imports from the Congress seems to be the big headache for the Bharatiya Janata Party, because on every seat you have an existing BJP leader who has a strong claim. Jyotiraditya Scindia supporter has come in along with Jyotiraditya Scindia, naturally expecting that he will get the ticket. Now, things like that, tactical issues on the ground in the regions of Madhya Pradesh could be the big challenge for your party as you try and win this state once again.
See, Rahul, the election is always a challenge for the party, and we never take it very lightly. So every election has its strategy, and in every state, there are segments where you have to play different strategies, and accordingly, the party and the state leadership will take a call on that accordingly. See, the biggest factor in Madhya Pradesh, what I see, that in spite of 18 years of rule, you leave that 1.5 years of Congress, you still have a 65+% rating of the people, which itself shows that state is not in anti-incumbency mood, but rather it has been on pro-incumbency mode. And this phenomena, if you leave for a few times, it has been more or less there with the BJP governance ever since Narendra Modi became the chief minister in 2002 and subsequently the prime minister. So we as a party, we definitely will put all effort, all our strength in winning this MP election in the most comfortable manner. That's what we see.
Okay. Anuma Acharya, the fact that Rajasthan seems to fare much worse than Madhya Pradesh on the question of anti-incumbency would suggest that Shivraj Singh Chauhan, despite being in power for 18 years, now has done a better job than Ashok Gehlot of handling perception and expectations in his state.
Rahul, I would rather say that this survey has been quite a conservative one. BJP actually does not have its report card to be projected, and it is more or less like worked like a event management company. If you see the data and go to the Niti Aayog reports, it has always been among first 3 in terms of crime against women. Even on this 26th of June or 24th of June, there was a girl called Vedika Thakur. She was shot dead by Priyansh Vishwakarma, who is a Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha leader. Moreover, there are so many rape cases which are involving this BJP leaders. Then Madhya Pradesh is in its employment rating, again, it's one of the worst. But in drug abuse cases, it features in one of the top states. If you see Malwa, Nimar, Mahakaushal, Bhopal, Vidisha, Agar Malwa, any region you talk about, Since there is no employment, the youth is indulging into the drug abuse. That is another thing. Then, if you see the budget management, though I am not an expert, but the annual budget of the state is about 3 lakh crore, and the loan taken by the state government is about 3.4 lakh crores. So you can imagine it has already become a Sri Lanka. And why this all is happening? Because Shivraj Singh has announced more than some 20,000 schemes. Whatever he announces, nobody keeps a track of them. So in Madhya Pradesh, if I talk about these scams, there are 225, actually more than that, scams in the 220 months of governance. 21 jobs in last 3 years that Priyanka Gandhi has already said. So there is no report card for BJP to project for these elections.
Rashid Kidwai, a primary reading of this data would suggest that the chances of re-election of the government in Madhya Pradesh are higher than that of the government in Rajasthan. While it does face anti-incumbency and a sense of fatigue, it isn't a divided house like the Congress government in Rajasthan. This battle of Madhya Pradesh is important for the Congress because if they can't win Madhya Pradesh, if they end up losing Rajasthan, then it gives the BJP a lot of momentum building into the 2024 elections.
Absolutely, Rahul. I think if you look at Madhya Pradesh, it's always been traditionally a stronghold of Congress. The vote percentage difference between the two political parties has been 2% or less. So, and secondly, the Congress under Mr. Kamal Nath has been a very competitive mood. You look at the kind of thing about that, Hindutva plank. If you go to Madhya Pradesh, go to any part of Madhya Pradesh, you will see the way the Congress leaders, local leaders behave. They are no less than the BJP in terms of making use of religious symbols, religious festivals, etc. And Mr. Kamal Nath is very deftly stroking it. So that's the thing. And there's one more thing, Rahul. There is a bit of a mismatch in what Mr. Yashwant Deshmukh is projecting. He's saying that the over 40% people are fully satisfied, or 20-25% people are somewhat satisfied, and yet Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan's ratings is just 37%. You look at Narendra Modi, his national rating is 47%, whereas BJP vote percentage is 31% to 38%. So this is a thing. I think Madhya Pradesh is heading for a change, and if it doesn't, then of course it will be a huge setback for the Congress.
You mentioned the use of Hindu symbols. I want to show that to our viewers. The question was, whose brand of Hinduism do you trust more? Here are the responses from BJP supporters separately and Congress supporters separately. 64% of BJP supporters said they support the BJP's brand of Hindutva. 68% say they support the Congress's version of Hinduism. And the interesting thing there is that 44% of the overall respondents said they think that Kamal Nath is Hindu enough, or at least they like his version of Hindutva or his version of Hinduism. Now that's interesting because Yashwant Deshmukh, that's been one of the hallmarks of this campaign. The use of Hanuman Bhakt, the use of Katha Vachak storytellers going district to district, and the Congress is trying as it can to try and out-Hindu the BJP.
Well, Rahul, that's precisely what I said when I made the starting remark. Is Kamal Nath versus the BJP machinery, because Kamal Nath is clearly taking a line which Congress as an institution or an organization hesitates to take. Congress, I genuinely feel is a very apologetically Hindu party, while Kamal Nath is coming out to be an unapologetically Hindu Congress politician. So that's a big difference. I mean, seems to be a very minor line, but that's a huge difference in among the two. And I think what Kamal Nath is taking the line is something which probably might have a more electoral traction to it than what Congress as an institution is towing the line. So yes, people are responding to Kamal Nath's way of campaign, Kamal Nath's way of telling that I am a better Hindu. I believe in Hinduism. I believe in Hindutva. My brand of my bhakti in Hanuman is probably better than the
That's
brand
interesting.
of bhakti that
Trying to take on the
opponents are showing.
BJP in the same coin. I want to come now to the big ticket numbers. So we'll take you through the projected vote share first and then the seat share numbers. So this is what it really comes down to. The first opinion poll, and according to this poll, if I look at projected vote share numbers first, the Congress is likely to increase its vote share by 3% from 41 to 44. The BJP also likely to go up from 41 to 44. So both these parties locked when it comes to vote share at 44 each. It's some of the smaller parties like the BSP and the independents and the others who seem to be losing out. The aggregate vote share of the others coming down from 18 to 12, down 6. It's the Congress and the BJP that seem to be benefiting in terms of vote share. Let's now project this onto seats. Here are the C-voter numbers for Madhya Pradesh 2023. The first time you're trying to get a sense of which way Madhya Pradesh could go. Now, Yashwant Deshmukh projects with the slenderest of margins the Congress in the lead at 108 to 120. The range that he's giving to the BJP is 106 to 118. The way to decode this data is at the upper end of the range, the Congress is at 120, the BJP at 118. So even though the vote share is the same, Yashwant Deshmukh is predicting that the Congress could be a little in front on the seats, at least at this moment. That's the way it looks at this moment to the team at C-Voter. Remember last time as well, the Congress had 114. So you're projecting that the Congress would end up where it was in the last elections. The BJP was at 109. That could go up just marginally to 112. The others tally comes down from 7 to 4. It seems from what you're suggesting, Yashwant, we could be in for another midnight haul. I remember last time the elections in Madhya Pradesh went on till 1 a.m. at night because that's how close some of the seats were, counting, recounting, going on. Is that what it's looking like to you at this moment?
At this moment, absolutely yes, Rahul. And even though it looks neck and neck at the state level, Rahul, at the regional level, these are very, very distinctly clear sweeps that are happening. Congress is sweeping Chambal like anything. Congress is taking a huge lead in Bagelkhand now, but BJP is sweeping Malwa, Nimad, and BJP is keeping their upper hand in Mahakaushal. And Bhopal BJP is sweeping like anything. So what is happening here is that there are regional sweeps that are happening, but overall the Madhya Pradesh level, it seems neck and neck at this point of time. For the BJP, the things that should concern them is the apparent Congress sweep that is growing up in the Chambal region, because that is the area where Jyotiraditya Scindia and his territories are. So, probably this, for some reason, probably more organizational than political, that integration somehow is not happening on the ground, and it seems to be backfiring at this point of time.
Rahul Verma, if I use the example of the last elections and extrapolate those insights onto this data, 44-44 could suggest that the Congress has the marginal edge because the BJP vote share is concentrated and the BJP tends to win big. Last time too, the BJP had a little bit more vote share, the Congress had more seats. Therefore, because the BJP wins big in urban pockets and in certain regions where they sweep, do you think that this data in the way that's coming will be ultimately as tight as it is from here going up till the polls? What are the factors that you think could change?
So, Rahul, first thing is, if the election is so close now, then Congress certainly has an advantage as a challenger to convert this election in its favor. And let me give you reasons why. Basically, from the data which you pointed in the beginning, it seems that Kamal Nath has equally matched popularity at the moment, and so there is always a cost of ruling. If BJP government in next 2 to 3 months, which is a very, very little time, makes a turnaround, then I think the momentum in favor of Congress may likely increase. Second thing, what the data seems to be suggesting, like if you read them together, it seems the fatigue is less with the BJP government, but the fatigue seems to be setting in with Shivaraj Singh Chauhan. And he has been CM there for last 18 years. And that's why his numbers seem to be very, very close to Kamal Nath. And in last 3-4 years since Shivaraj Singh Chauhan came back, I don't think he carries the same kind of popularity as he did pre-2018. So Congress has an advantage in terms of setting the narrative going up to the polls, and they might pass ahead the sort of like the challenge which you are seeing now. But
Ajay,
there are
Alok, elections becoming more and more personality driven. It's not often that a chief minister has lesser popularity than that of his government. Those who want Shivraj Singh Chauhan as chief minister again are just 37%. Those who are satisfied with his government, 40%. Some of this and even anecdotal responses from the state would suggest that after being in power for 18 years, a certain amount of fatigue seems to have set into the candidature of Chief Minister Chauhan.
Well, with all due respect to your survey, Rahul, I would like to say that in BJP, individual is not important. The party is important. Like, if you remember Uttarakhand, we changed 3 chief ministers and everybody started saying that since the government is not performing, so we are changing chief ministers. But still we won the election. And with Shivraj Singh, his proven track record, I'm pretty sure everything will be overcome. Let them have the edge now. We'll have the majority after the results. That's for sure.
Rashid Kidwai, Kamal Nath playing the victim card that he was denied unfairly last time round. Does that have any purchase on the ground according to you? This idea that the Congress was wrongfully denied and therefore must be given a full chance?
I think, Rahul, this is going to be a contributory factor. If you look at Karnataka results, where a similar time, a similar defection had taken place, most of the defectors actually lost in this 2023 Assembly election. So this is there. I think Kamal Nath is a very hands-on politician. When he goes to Gwalior Chambal region, he has marshaled a lot of resources, in the sense those people who are unhappy to be in the BJP, or they are not finding a place there at the ground level. So he is doing that, and I think, with due respect again to see voter findings, I mean, if Congress is doing well in Gwalior Chambal region and all, there is no way that it will not perform well in Mahakaushal region, where Kamal Nath himself come from. His own popular ratings are high. Then obviously there is going to be some traction in this, so to say, his home turf. And see, he's very clever. He's trying this term which he's been using. He's on that again, coming back to that Hinduism, Hindutva, and all those things. He's saying, "Main Hindu hu, murkh nahi hu." So he's telling people in a very subtle way that be very careful of overt religiosity and stick to what you are. So there are some common sense that is there in the Congress campaign, and I think it will show dividends. Again, 44% vote percentage, the Congress tends to win by very small, low margins, whereas BJP in urban sectors, as Mr. Deshmukh is saying, in Bhopal region, etc., they win by huge margins. So there is going to be, the BJP may get more votes, but less seats.
Okay, let's go through the region by region breakup, which gives viewers a sense of why Madhya Pradesh is a multi-region election where there are different verdicts from different areas. So I'm going to start with Chambal. If you look at Chambal, this... okay, so let me do one thing. I'll start with Chambal. If you look at Chambal, in Chambal, you've got the Congress with 47% votes, the BJP at 41. The Congress projected to back 24 seats, the BJP 9 seats. That's a big gap in favor of the Congress in Chambal. Remember, this is the region, Gwalior Chambal, where Jyotiraditya Scindia came from with his 22 MLAs, and now they seem to be the big concern for the BJP. How do you manage their expectations versus those of BJP leaders who already existed in those districts like Bheen, Gwalior, Shiopur, Datia, Shivpuri, Guna and Ashoknagar? So that's, Ajay Alok, one of the key concerns. You've got these new leaders in. We've seen already in Karnataka where you have these kind of local squabbles. It becomes very difficult for the big guns to be able to level them out.
Well, it happens everywhere. Like in every state, it happens. This happens in politics, that whenever there's a group which joins the party, there is always a problem of cohesion. But these are things which is being taken care of. And I'm pretty sure that by the time election will come, everybody seems to have settled. And hopefully the results won't be the same. Rather, with the entry of Jyotiraditya Scindia, definitely we are going to gain something. We are not going to lose something. That's for sure. So what the survey is showing right now, that's because maybe the cohesiveness among the workers is not fully established. But by the time election will come, the cohesiveness and the strength both will be established and will do much better than what it's showing right now.
Okay, I want to come to Mahakaushal, which is where Kamal Nath comes from. This includes Chhindwara, Jabalpur, Katni, Narmadapuram, Dindori, Mandla, Shioni, Narsinghpur. In the 42 seats of Mahakaushal, the Congress and the BJP are deadlocked at 43% votes each. The BJP likely to bag 22 seats, the Congress 20. This is where Rashid Kidwai is wanting to argue with Yashwant Deshmukh's data, saying that this is Kamal Nath territory. Actually, it's only the Republic of Chhindwara which is Kamal Nath territory, which used to be Yashwant Deshmukh Kamal Nath territory. Outside of it, his writ didn't quite run in the way that it did in Chhindwara. Do you want to respond to Rashid Kidwai's assertion that because this is the region where the Congress Chief Minister came from, therefore the Congress may do better than what you're projecting? Yashwant Deshmukh.
Possible. I mean, Rashid Bhai is on the ground. He knows way better things than I do. So I tend to agree with him. However, as I started with the show, that it's Kamal Nath versus the BJP or the RSS as an organization battle. Mahakaushal is the area, Bhopal is the area where organization strength of the BJP has been quite significantly stronger than the Congress. It's up to Kamal Nath completely how to convert his personal popularity into the votes for the Congress. And if he manages to do so, he might end up having an upper hand. But by and large, what it seems like at this point of time, trackers are, they report, the data reports the things that stand as on today. It might or might not go in that direction. We will have to just wait and watch as the campaign unfolds.
Which is why we said this is the political stock exchange. This isn't the final quarterly or annual result.
Exactly.
This is just the PSC. Things can change. This gives you a sense of which way the winds are blowing. After Mahakaushal and Chambal, I want to come to Baghelkhand. In Baghelkhand, the projection seems to be quite different, which is what makes this a fascinating election, because each region is throwing up a different verdict. In Baghelkhand, the Congress seems to enjoy a 4% vote share advantage over the BJP, 44 versus 40. The BJP seat share projected to be only 23. The Congress's seat share projected to be 32. That's a big gain for the Congress, a big loss for the BJP. This is areas like Tikamgarh, Sagar, Damo, Panna, Satna, Rewa, Siddhi, Singrauli, Shahdol, Anupur, which essentially says in this region, Yashwant Deshmukh, you're projecting that the BJP goes down substantially from the last time. The Congress jumps up. What is it that you're picking up about Baghelkhand which suggests such a high level of anti-incumbency?
Exactly, and these are the precise reasons where you can say that two factors are working, Rahul. Number one, these are the regions where the BSV, erstwhile BJP and other smaller parties' vote share was significantly high, but that is crashing down. So the bipolarization of the politics, further bipolarization of the politics, is actually helping the Congress in Chambal and Baghelkhand. However, BJP is maintaining its solid lead in Bhopal and Malwa region. And eventually it will boil down to two regions, Rahul. One is Mahakaushal and one is Nimar. These two regions are largely going to probably decide, which party actually pulls through at the end of the race,
Okay, Anuma Acharya and Ajay Alok are tearing their hair apart, saying don't make it so tight for us. We're loving it because the more regional it gets, the more our election intelligence dashboard comes into play, the more we've got to talk about. So it just makes things much more exciting. I, of course, feel bad for the netas who need to sweat much more. But the elections are in winter, so it's not as bad as having an election in the summer. But let's now come to Bhopal. And here in Bhopal, on the 25 seats of Bhopal, the BJP has a massive advantage. The BJP projected to bag 50% of the vote share versus 43 for the Congress. The BJP projected to bag 20 seats. The Congress only 5. Anuma Acharya, urban pockets, once again, the Congress's Achilles heel. In urban pockets, the BJP having a 7% vote share gap over the Congress party.
Rahul, inadvertently you skipped me in the previous round. So I was just wondering whether I am there just to be there. And so I must tell you that with due respect and regards to the sea voter survey for Bhopal and Malwa and Nimar region, Yashwantji is in for a surprise because his survey is based on a sample size of population, not on the motivation level of the BJP Karyakartas versus Congress workers. Whereas BJP Karyakartas are disappointed and very unhappy. They are disillusioned because they have to work with the people who came from, who are imported, and they are bossing over them. So in any case, BJP Karyakartas are not happy with their party, and therefore I say, because there are two types of leaders. One already joined Congress. If you know that Mr. Deepak Joshi, who is the son of Kailash Joshi, has already joined. Bajnath Yadav has joined. Rakesh Gupta has joined. Then we have Radhilal Baghel from Datia has joined. Hemant Laria from Sagar. Anubha Munjare from Balaghat. So many people, and so many are likely to join Congress party, which does not have money for horse trading. They are joining because the party which they work for is no more the same for which they have put in their heart and soul. So therefore, and there are second kind of leaders, BJP leaders like Kailash Vijayvargiya, who are openly speaking against their party. Even in Indore region, they are saying that no one but only BJP can defeat BJP. Once it was said for Congress. So he is talking about it. Satyanarayan Sattan is talking about it. There is Uma Bharti has been consistently talking about it. Mukesh Jain, Anup Mishra, who is a nephew of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, has already declared that he is going to contest from Gwalior West. And then there is Mr. Bhavan Singh Shekhawat.
Okay, so let me put that question to Ajay Alok. The likes of Rakesh Kumar Gupta, who was a loyalist of Jyotiraditya Scindia, Dhruv Pratap Singh, Bajnath Singh Yadav, another Jyotir loyalist, Deepak Joshi, son of the former Chief Minister Kailash Joshi, Rao Yadvendra Singh Yadav of Ashoknagar joining the Congress, and each of them with hundreds of cars in tow, driving from wherever it is, whether it's Shivpuri in somebody's case or Ashoknagar in somebody else's case, driving with their big Lashkar towards Bhopal. Is this sending a message to the BJP Karyakartas and to the voters of Madhya Pradesh that some key BJP leaders, including sons of former chief ministers, don't seem settled?
See, first of all, if the likes of Jyotiraditya Scindia are joining that Congress, then in Chambal region, the BJP Karyakarta will become happy. Right? Some of our own leaders, like son of former Chief Minister Kailash Joshi joining BJP, this keeps on happening. It's election year. You know, the mushroom tourism will keep on growing till the election are stopped. The very interesting thing that ma'am said, that only BJP can defeat BJP. That itself proves that we are not going to be defeated. Because BJP will never defeat BJP. It's not like Congress.
No, but you know, at the senior level, leaders may be scared of the high command, may fall in line because they have to, but at the Karyakarta party leader level where somebody loses a seat because a defector came from the Congress, that's a much bigger mess, Rahul Verma, for the BJP to solve. If you look at Karnataka, look at other states, you can use the danda and get the senior leaders who got much more at stake, cabinet ministerial portfolios, for example. They tend to fall in line. The Karyakarta or the MLA ticket aspirant, he seems to be much tougher to handle for the BJP big brass.
But that's for any political party, right? And especially if you have been powered for a very, very long period of time, there are going to be lots of workers and leaders whose political aspirations don't get met, and they are likely to jump the ship. One point which is in comparison to 2018, we are basically seeing a very similar pattern of regional conflict in Madhya Pradesh even this time. So last time, if you look at the seats that BJP won, it starts from basically the Ujjain, Indore sort of like districts. And if you keep looking that thread, so it basically wins seats in Vidisha, Sagar, Damo, Satna, Rewa, Siddhi, those are the districts. And in the rest of the Madhya Pradesh, Congress was able to convert more seats. So the question going forward this time for BJP is one, whether it manages to wrestle some of the seats because Jyotiraditya Scindia has come back, especially in the Chambal region, and can it not allow Congress to walk away with so many seats in the Mahakaushal region? I think those are the two regions.
So let me come to some of the other regions that are still left. I'll take Malwa as the next region, 45 seats here. 48% of the vote share projected to go to the BJP, 45% of the vote share to the Congress, 25 seats for the BJP, 20 to the Congress. This includes areas like Dhar, Devas, Indore, Ujjain, Ratlam, Mandsaur, Neemuch. So here the BJP having a 5-seat advantage and a 3% vote share advantage over the Congress. Let's now come to Nimar. Nimar includes areas like Jhabua, Alirajpur, Barwani, Khargon, Khandwa, Marda, Burhanpur, Betul. Here, a dead heat. 43 for the Congress, 44% votes for the BJP, 13 seats for the Congress, 13 for the BJP. Why is there so much regional variation, Yashwant Deshmukh? This ultimately is one state, but as I look at the region by region breakup, this could be 6 different verdicts.
It's also in the demographics. We all tend to look at Madhya Pradesh as one homogeneous set of mass, but it is not, Rahul. There are significant tribal population percentage as far as the Nimar region is concerned, even in certain on the eastern pocket which are adjoining the Chhattisgarh border. These pockets have been significantly pro-Congress for a really long time. So much so, Rahul, that I remember distinctly in 1996 Lok Sabha elections when Dilip Singh Guria joined BJP. At that point of time in Jhabua, he had to campaign for his new party as Phoolwali Congress. People did not know the name of the BJP in that population in the tribal belt. Compare that to today, you will significantly understand the kind of gains that BJP has made in these areas by virtue of the RSS work on the ground. That makes it a lot of change. But these are the differences. In Baghelkhand and in Chambal region, there is a significantly large SC population over there, and which has been largely pro-Congress, but the emergence of the BSP had taken quite a number of voters away. Now they are kind of coming back to the Congress, it seems, and that is resulting in the advantage for Congress in Baghelkhand and Chambal, not just the organizational mess that BJP has created with the imports. So all these regions have distinct population profiles. In Bhopal, as you know, even though Madhya Pradesh doesn't have huge population of minorities, but if you see the politics of polarization working anywhere, it is largely limited to Bhopal and Dhar and basically Malwa and the Bhopal region. So these factors are important because of the demographics that are different in different regions, and that is why they are
now,
coming up with
one of the Chief Minister's
profiles.
big hope is his Ladli Behna Yojana, where money is being transferred straight into the accounts of women in Madhya Pradesh. Now, the BJP hopes that this will help in a big way. Do these things work if on a monthly basis 1,000 rupees Rahul Verma come into the accounts of women? The Congress chief ministerial candidate has announced he'll send 1,500 rupees. But at this moment, 1,000 rupees coming into your account, is that kind of a scheme likely to help at least women voters feel, okay, ghar baithe paise mil rahe, this is not such a bad thing? Kamal, Shivraj Singh Chauhan is a good guy.
See, in what we have been seeing in past couple of elections, especially after 2019, that the BJP managed to close the gender gap. And in many states, including Uttar Pradesh, Assam, wherever BJP actually won the assembly elections in last 3-4 years, they had an advantage among women voters. And that advantage was coming because of many factors. I wouldn't simply say that it was largely because of welfare schemes. So in Uttar Pradesh, it was a combination of welfare schemes, law and order, and other things. Maybe in Madhya Pradesh, it may work in the same way as it did in other states for the BJP. But what we are also seeing, as in Karnataka, where the Congress managed to make these sort of like offers of welfare schemes and had an advantage among women voters. So, one, what we are going to see in the run-up to these elections and also in the run-up to 2024, announcement of such schemes, where you are trying to basically target different groups and try to give them certain benefits and hope they would turn up. Now, these schemes or the announcement of promise of these schemes are only going to work if you are doing right on other things, meaning you have a leadership who's popular, your government performance was good. And so if you have all those things going well for you, then welfare schemes promise of welfare schemes are going to act as a catalyst. It's not going to be the sole criteria driving the vote choice.
Rashid Kidwai, there's serious money. Even on the CM Kalyan Yojana, 2,000 rupees coming into people's accounts in 3 installations. This is in addition to what the PM Kisan Samman Nidhi is going to do. And the Ladli Bahina Yojana, 1,000 rupees coming into the accounts of women. That's a direct cash transfer, which would make it alluring for the sections of farmers and women that these schemes reach out to.
Rahul, I think it's bit mind-boggling, it's a bit deceptive. It doesn't happen that way. First of all, in the election year, whatever, even if it is Ashok Gehlot, whichever political party they give out dole, it tends to be not very effective because voters tend to judge it if their kind of socio-economic conditions have not improved in 16, 17 years that Mr. Shivaraj Singh Chauhan has been in power. How is it going to make a difference in last 6 months? Second thing is, there are so many schemes are there that the bureaucrats, low-level bureaucracy is actually deducting all those things. So if somebody is getting a Ladli Bahina pension, then their Vidhva pension scheme is 600 rupees, so they're getting only 400 rupees or something like that. So it's not that the people, it's not multiplying and the benefits are not reaching. Second thing, what Mr. Yashwant Deshmukh survey is indicating that all the regions, Bagelkhand you talked about, Chambal, Gwalior, Chambal, wherever there is a kind of stark difference between rich and the poor, that's where he's indicating that the Congress is doing well. And in the urban sectors like Bhopal and Ujjain and Indore region and all, where the BJP has traditionally been winning. You see that Mr. Shankar Lalwani, who's a Lok Sabha MP from Indore, he won by over 4.5 lakh votes. Sadhvi Pragya, who defeated Digvijay Singh from Bhopal, won by over 3 lakh votes. So this is the big margin and strong pockets of BJP. So that's where I'm saying this vote share, vote seat things are going to see a lot of changes. Populist schemes are not working in an election year anywhere. And Madhya Pradesh.
Okay, Rashid Kidwai has already decided. He knows which way Madhya Pradesh is voting. The voters of Madhya Pradesh.
I'm going by C voter.
Okay, you're going by C voter. This is interesting because it will be a fascinating contest. What the last hour establishes is that Madhya Pradesh will be the most exciting election in November, December. In other states, the direction may be more clear. In Madhya Pradesh, there will be a fight right till the end. It could clear up towards the end, but in the build-up, there will be excitement, which will keep all of us on our toes. And I love that. A good, hard-fought Indian election. Thank you for tuning into the Political Stock Exchange this week. Every week, we'll try and use data to give you insights into what's happening on the ground. I'm slipping into a break. I'll have more for you on the other side. Stay with us. We're back in a moment.
The India Today Group is pleased to announce the launch of a brand new online portal for our Best Colleges survey, featuring 6 years of ranking data as well as a wealth of granular information on thousands of institutes of higher learning. Our interactive portal offers easy access, analysis and guidance to our Best Colleges of India survey results for over 2,000 colleges across 14 streams. We invite everyone to visit our site, bestcolleges.indiatoday.in, and we wish aspiring students all the very best.
The arrival of the monsoon has brought much misery and suffering for Mumbaikars. Tall claims of the Maharashtra government and the Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation have fallen flat yet again. The monsoon story for Maximum City remains the same as ever. Madan Yadav, who works in the hotel industry, says he has stocked up food and medicine as he fears severe waterlogging if rains persist.
Every year we have certain days where there is, huge rainfall happening actually. So we have to really, have some backup at home. Maybe the food supplies and, medicines, all those things to be have stocked actually at home. So yes, we are following those guidelines also, keeping that in mind.
Mumbai's suburb Thane saw heavy waterlogging on Wednesday. Shantilal Beed, a hardware store owner, claims the situation remains unchanged from last year.
हम लोग 27 साल से इधर का धंधा कर रहे हैं। 27 साल से पानी भर रहा है। हर दिन का बारिश के टाइम हर दिन का तकलीफ है। कभी-कभी रात को 1-2 बजे, 4 बजे, 5 बजे भी पानी भरता है तो आना पड़ता है। इसका कुछ उपाय होना चाहिए।
Vilas Fartate, a bus stop in charge, points out how waterlogging poses a threat to bus passengers, especially senior citizens.
बारिश में जो पानी पूरा भर जाता है और जब तक बारिश बंद नहीं होती तब तक पानी विड्रॉ होता ही नहीं है ऐसे। तो बहुत सी गाड़ी बाहर से और बाहर रुकना पड़ता है, पैसेंजर को अंदर आने को नहीं मिलता है।
In Kalyan, water entered houses in low-lying areas. The Durga Housing Society is among the worst hit.
कल हम खुद से सुबह से लेकर शाम तक प्रशासन के पास जाते हैं। कल इधर जो केडीएमसी के अधिकारी है, आयुक्त से लेकर सब नीचे वाले दर्जे के जो अधिकारी आके गए, लेकिन खाली आ रहे, देख रहे, फोटो निकल रहे, जा रहे। कल आए 2-4 चेंबर ओपन करे, लेकिन उनको जो रिक्वायरमेंट हमने की थी, जो पम्पिंग क्यों पंप जो लाने के लिए बोला गया वो उन्होंने लाया नहीं। बाकायदा उनके पास है ही नहीं, ऐसे उन्होंने खुद बताया है।
The Met Department warns Mumbai and nearby areas could face even more intense rainfall.
Rains will gradually increase in the state in the next few days. But if traffic congestion, water logging, landslides and potholes weren't enough, Mumbai will now face water cut as well, because there hasn't been enough rainfall in the catchment areas. With camera person Siddesh Asgekar, this is Pankaj Upadhyay in Mumbai, reporting for India Today.
You are watching India Today.
Let's take you through some of the defining images that have been going viral on French social media and in fact feeding the growth of the violence in different parts of that country. Looting, fires, arson continue in France after that teen was shot dead in Paris on Tuesday. Some of the images coming out from where the hotspots are. Protesters angry after Nahel's killing have been setting ablaze public buildings in Paris suburbs. Unrest spreading to some other French cities and towns. The French capital also saw garbage bins being set ablaze and some store windows being smashed. A crowd of protesters attempted to break into a Nike store in downtown central Paris as well, kicking and smashing windows. This was at the hyper-center of the French capital at a very, very prominent mall. These are images from that particular incident. A fire was set off by protesters outside the mayor's office in another suburb of Paris. France has mobilized, like I said, tens of thousands of police officers in an effort to head off widespread urban rioting following the deadly police shooting of that 17-year-old. So this isn't just the suburb in which he grew up, but also every other working class suburb and in fact downtown Paris as well. Videos being shared widely on social media show buses on fire in another Parisian suburb. Despite government appeals for calm and vows that order will be restored, things only appear to be getting worse.
Meanwhile, one of the most shared videos doing the rounds on social media is this one of armored police vehicles ramming through the charred remains of cars that had been flipped and set ablaze in northwestern Paris. This is the suburb of Nanterre, where 17-year-old Nahel actually grew up, even though he was killed in a separate area. Like I said, tens of thousands of police officers, about 40,000 strong, have been deployed in just the Paris metropolitan area, in addition to existing deployments for 3 nights in a row.
You are watching India Today.
Siddaramaiah government during the election campaign, when it was in the opposition, said we will give 10 kilos of rice. Now you've decided 5 kilos of rice and we will give a certain amount in a cash component. Do you agree that maybe you should have done possibly the maths before you decided 10 kilos of rice, or are you only going to blame the center and the Food Corporation of India?
So our basic understanding or the commitment to supply was based on the FCI's commitment towards us. So the availability of the rice in the FCI godowns is very well known, on record. The only reason they have refused to supply it to us is not justifiable. If you can see the chronology of events, once the FCI says it has sufficient stock and it would supply, later it rescinds it. The Food and Civil Supply Minister of the state approaches the central minister to discuss about the same. He refuses to meet. He avoids and he has so many excuses. Thereby, in one way, they make the FCI to rescind the contract. It's a breach of obligation or a contract or a commitment for the FCI. The union government would have said at least to the FCI, look into the same. If there is an availability, kindly see that the people should not suffer. Let there be any political difference between BJP or a Congress pertaining to the commitment. But insofar as supply of rice to the poor people are concerned, that to the BPL, one should not have played politics.
So you're saying the FCI was virtually coerced, you're claiming was coerced by the central government to not go ahead and supply rice at rupees 34 per kg to allow the state government to implement Anna Bhagya. Vijay Prasad, these are allegations now that are being made by the Chief Minister, by Congress spokespersons, that the Modi government stopped the Food Corporation of India from selling it, even as it allowed FCI to supply rice at rupees 20 per kg for ethanol production. This is the charge which is being made by the Congress, that FCI, under pressure from the center, is rescinding a contract with the Karnataka government to supply rice at 34 rupees a kg.
The Congress is shifting the goalpost, Rajdeep. It is a classic case of a mismanaged, shoddy implementation of promises made before the election. Elections has been won by making the false promises.
Weather forecast now. Delhi, maximum 38 and minimum 27 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 28 and minimum 25 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 36 and minimum 27 degrees. Bangalore, maximum 29 and minimum 21 degrees. Chennai, maximum 34 and minimum 28 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 32 and minimum 24 degrees.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Protest and tear gas. Rahul Gandhi's visit to Manipur, which his party described as a healing exercise, exposed how divided the state stands today. The Congress leader landed in Imphal on Wednesday and insisted on a road trip to Churachandpur, where the ethnic clashes between Meitei and Kuki communities started before engulfing the state. 20 kilometers from Imphal, the cavalcade was stopped in Bishnupur by the administration.
Recall the time when Rahul Gandhi
They will not move in. Take one of our representatives, go with them to see the visual. Show us the blockade. Show us the blockade. Okay. Yeah, that would be. I will ask the ESP. I will ask the ESP.
If I go within my jurisdiction, close to the border with 5-6 vehicles, the message, or the rather rumor that is spread across is, now miscreants seem to have come to attack Churachandpur side, Churachandpur villages.
You're saying that Rahul Gandhi's cavalcade can spread a rumor?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Even as the Congress leaders were stranded on the road, women protesters clashed with the police, trying to break through the barricades. The police had to fire tear gas to control the crowd.
So we are at Bishnupur और हमारे पीछे आप देखें बैरिकेड को तोड़ते हुए यहाँ पे तमाम महिलाएं अब जो है पुलिस ने अंदाजा लगा सकते हैं कि यहाँ पे जो है टीयर गैस छोड़ने से पूरी महिलाएं इधर उधर तितर बितर हो गई है.
Rahul Gandhi finally retreated, opting for a helicopter ride to Churachandpur. The BJP has accused Rahul Gandhi of playing photo op politics at a time when Manipur is facing difficult times.
I always say Rahul and responsibility never travel together. यही अगर राहुल जी सुबह करते, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की बात मानते, हेलीकॉप्टर से चुराचांदपुर जाते, तो आज मणिपुर, आज जो टीयर गैस चले हैं, आज जो स्थिति थोड़ा तनावपूर्ण इम्फाल में बना है, ये मणिपुर में नहीं होता.
उस काफिले को क्यों रोका गया? पहले इसी प्रशासन ने कहा आप बाय रोड जा सकते हैं, वहां से उनको रोक दिया जाता है, और प्रशासन जिसने परमिशन दी थी, ऑब्वियसली उनके पास ऊपर से फोन आता है, उनके पास तानाशाहों का फोन आता है. किसी से मुलाकात करना आज पाप है?
Manipur is on the boil for nearly 2 months now. From deploying the army to appointing a peace committee, the Narendra Modi government has implemented many measures to restore peace. But so far, none of them appears to have bridged the trust deficit between Meiteis and Kukis. With Mausami Singh, Bureau Report, India Today.
forecast now. Delhi, maximum 38 and minimum 27 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 28 and minimum 25 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 36 and minimum 27 degrees. Bangalore, maximum 29 and minimum 21 degrees. Chennai, maximum 34 and minimum 28 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 32 and minimum 24 degrees.
Why does this happen? Let me tell you the science behind it.
For more informative videos like this, keep watching India Today News Mo.
Co-presented by Star Health Insurance, the health insurance specialist.
Co-presented by JK Tyre Ranger Series, stay wild at heart. Co-presented by Hayfler, let's reimagine. Powered by NECC, Sunday hoya Monday, Roz Khaw Monday. Co-powered by Watcho OTT, Super App.
One hai to done hai.